Everywhere GBS.
And welcome back to GBS Morning Extra if you're just joining us. This morning, as I mentioned earlier, we will also be joined by another guest who is going to help us discuss matters education. And this time we're looking at the easy solutions for e-learning. You know that we've been having this conversation continuously and especially very much concerned about learning out there. Right now, because of the COVID-19, a lot of school business have been disrupted, and you know, our children cannot go to class as usual, and even for those in university are not able to attend their classes, regular classes, and most people have actually been forced to learn, to do home learning, and that's where the e-learning now comes at handy. And today, to discuss that much further, I'm joined by a very special guest. I'm talking about John Muse. John Muse is the accounts manager at Snaplify Kenya. John, good morning.
Good morning, Timothy. How are you?
I'm very fine. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
I wanted to ask you if you're working from home, and I just remembered the industry you're in and the kind of job that you're doing. So I won't ask that. I'll pass that question.
Yes, I'm working from home, and we as a company are supporting social distancing so that we flatten the curve.
Definitely, yes, and that is also our hope, and hence the reason why I'm actually inviting you on this platform and not getting you to, dragging you physically to
To
our
the
studio
studio.
here. Yeah, but then I hope that after this you may also visit our studio.
Definitely, I will definitely visit your studio. You already gave me the invite to come physically, so I
Uh,
will definitely come.
Karibu sana. So, John, as we start,
Asante.
maybe to our viewers who don't know what Snaplify is, maybe you can just take a bit of a minute and a half or two to just
Yeah.
explain to our viewers what is Snaplify.
Um, Snaplify is an education and technology company. We are global because we have presence in many countries, and we specialize in uh, in providing e-learning solutions to schools. And not only schools, we also provide access to ebooks to the public. That would be individuals, community libraries, and even corporates. So that's what we do. And we have partnered with publishers across the world to provide education materials from the very basic level to higher learning.
Uh, uh,
So yes,
yeah, John, maybe to take you very
yeah,
quickly, uh, maybe you
yes,
can
yes,
share with our viewers some of the features or solutions, features that are found in the Snaplify solution. Like you mentioned, you're working with learning institutions from the lowest
yes, yes.
level to the highest level. What are some of the features that we are looking at when you talk about Snaplify?
When you talk about Snaplify, you are talking about access to e-learning content, so access to ebooks majorly. And if you allow me, I'm going to share my screen so that I take you through what we do.
Definitely, yes, you can
So,
do that.
okay, great.
Yes.
So, just a moment. So you can see my screen, and this is. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, now your screen is visible.
Yeah. So this is Snaplify Home,
Uh-huh.
and this would be a landing page for anyone who is looking for e-learning materials, and that would be the digital books. And so as you can see up here, we are in support of the crisis that's happening. We want to support people to be able to access educational material so that education continues even when people are at home. So for anyone who'd like to access materials, you can log into snaplify.com,
All right.
and this is the landing page that you will see.
Okay.
So under here, you'll be able to see access to free books.
Okay.
Some publishers have given a Snaplify, they've given us permission to be able to avail their materials to the public for free.
Okay, so
And
meaning that the public can actually access, when they get into Snaplify, they're able to access the publisher's material for free.
Yes, they're able to access some of the publishers' materials for free. So we are still talking to more publishers to be able to avail as much of their catalogs as possible, so that we support remote learning. And then when you go down here, you can see we have register for your e-learning platform.
Yes.
Snaplify has developed a digital library model, and registration for the digital library model is free. So our digital library model is called Engage, and Engage provides access to more than 49,000 ebooks which are free to access. And these ebooks are from various publishers across the world.
All right.
And even here in Kenya, students can access books from KICD has put some books there, which are readers for lower levels. And also, if a school would like to set up their students so that they're able to later to purchase their ebooks,
yes,
then they can do so within their digital library. Because it's so easy to manage your digital library when you know this is where all my students and teachers will be able to access the resources.
Definitely.
So as you can see, with the Snaplify, you can buy textbooks. You also have the teacher benefits. So if someone registers for Snaplify Engage, that's our digital library, and they have the role of a teacher, they'll be able to get the teacher benefits. And the teacher benefits, these are some of the free books that the teacher will use as instructional materials. We also have past exam papers.
All right.
These are free to access. So for Kenya, what the past exam papers would be, would have KCSE past papers, and these have, some of them have the marking schemes. And then we also have the Cambridge past papers, which can benefit the IGCSE schools. So anyone who wishes to find their books, because we are not going to the physical shops now, or you might think of a book that you want, and maybe you cannot find it in the local bookshop, then just log into Snaplify, then you'll be able to find it. Yes, so either it's free, or if you find it has a cost, then you'll be able to purchase it. And what I can confidently say is ebooks are so easy to manage. You can have 1 million books on your device, and then you cannot lose an ebook, and an ebook does not wear out. So it's the way to go. We used to think of it as something that would come to happen in the future, but now we see in the situation which we are in now, with the crisis that has come, we now need e-resources, because if a teacher is to give an assignment, then it's easy. If they have the ebooks, then they just assign the students using the ebooks. So that's our website in a nutshell.
All right.
And apart from that, we have the Snaplify Reader app, which is this one. And if you allow me, I just want to show you some of the material that we have for free, which is interactive material.
All right.
And it's free to access now, and some of them are sample chapters. And this would benefit the high school students, especially in the STEM subjects. So, like what I'm displaying on my screen, this is an interactive book. and I think it's on Gasha's Exchange.
All right.
So I will just play it because it's 37 seconds.
No problem.
So I'll go right ahead. So see, that's an example of the books that we have. So
Alright.
it makes learning fun because they can see it clearly.
Sure.
How the human ventilation system works. So that's just a bit of
An
what
example,
we have. There's
yeah.
more from yeah. There's more from
So
where
most of the
that
books
comes from.
most of the books have similar displays where, I mean, if you're talking about body parts, then we'll have something come in motion in that way, and then it's much easier for the learner to just see.
Yes, that's right. And then after they see, they are able to even answer questions.
All right.
Yeah, like here, they'll be able to answer questions. So if you put the right answer, then it will show you.
Ah,
If
it
you
will
put the
show
wrong
you.
answer, still it will show you. Yes,
Ah.
or something like that.
Oh, that's
So
very.
that's the Snaplify Reader app.
And
within
all
the
all
Snaplify
this
Reader
is accessible for free, you say, John?
Yes, for now, this is accessible for free, and this is the Zoom content. Very, very high quality digital material.
All right.
can
John, with such easy access and so, refined and defined features, there's also
Yeah.
someone would want to ask, John, that,
Yeah.
sometimes it's the more easier it is to access, and as
Yeah.
it is free, then someone would want to argue that right now we are living also at the age in which crime has also crept on into the online space. We are talking about online crime or cyber crime.
Yeah.
How protected are we when we access such material? And we are assured that someone may not creep in just to access information or to infiltrate and put in something that does not belong there.
Okay. Unlike other materials or other ebooks, where when you want to access them, maybe someone sends you a file and you download it and you can see it on your phone or
Yes.
on your device.
Yes.
For Snaplify, before you access our book, you have to pick it from either from our website or the digital library.
Yes.
And then it sits on your Reader app. Now, what I'm displaying now is the Reader app.
All right.
And within the Reader app, you cannot be able to share the physical file with anyone. So it's locked within the Reader app.
Okay.
And then we ensure that our systems are solid, and we are constantly working to make sure that the security features are tightened. So whenever we receive the material from publishers, we make sure that we do the data rights management and encrypt the files so that no one is able to hack them. And so far, no one has been able to really to be able to hack the material that we have. We ensure that we protect the rights of the publisher.
Well, that's, I think, very thoughtful of you guys. And I also wanted to ask about the publishers.
Yes.
I see you've got a lot of material, some of them local, some of them are not local. I can see you still have material for the 844 system. I can see also you have material for the CBC and also for other systems as well. Maybe you can just tell us, who are the publishers that you're working with, and how are you, how do you work with them to ensure that everything is working smoothly, and that you get also that the public get to access their material on your platform?
Locally, we are working with about 28 publishers, and we have built this relationship over a period of time because, before publishers can give you their content, they have to really vet and make sure that our content will be in the right hand, and it will be treated well, and then the public will be able to access it well, and then it will be protected.
Sure.
So just to highlight a few publishers whom we're working with for both the CBC content and 844, since currently the two curriculums are running concurrently.
Yes.
So we have Oxford University Press, both East Africa, South Africa, and the UK. We also have Longhorn Publishers. We have Moran Publishers. We have Mountain Top Publishers, we have Spotlight Publishers, we have Queenex Publishers, Jomo Kenyatta Foundation, Kenya Literature Bureau, One Planet, Story Moja, EAP, Spear Shop, Evangel, Word Alive, and we also have some KICD books, like the 3 books down there. These are some of the free books from KICD. You can see they have the government logo.
Yeah,
just to mention a few.
They have the government logo. Maybe if you just
Yes, and these are free.
Those are free as well.
Yes, these are free as well.
Oh, interesting.
As you can see, they're storybooks for I think 5 to 6 year olds.
All right.
From the Tusome early literacy program, and they're very nice storybooks, which can keep the kids busy now that they're at home.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
I mean, such material is accessible online, and I think leaving out, of course, the many Kenyans who are not able to access the online platform, but then for those who are able to do, from your phone, simply as if you have a smartphone, you're able to access all this material, right, John?
Yes, you're able to access it, and the beauty of it is once you've picked a book from, say, our Snaplify platform or your digital library, then you download it to your reader app. So once it's downloaded there, you can be able to read it offline. So that's another really beautiful feature about what we do.
Well, that's very interesting. John, I want you back on the screen now because I think my time is also up. Before I let you go, I would like you back on the screen so that maybe we can just look at, I mean, that's quite interesting. Seeing all that material for free.
Yes.
John, how do you make your money if you're giving all this for free?
I mean, for the material that we are availing for free, it's because we've received it for free from publishers. And the one that we've given for free access for course books that you've seen on snaplify.com, that is available until the 31st of December in support of the crisis that's happening. Sure. And again, just for any business, you want to make sure that people have something to sample with. So we've given you a lot to really use. And just to get started for all the schools that register. So once you register, you have something to start with. And then you can purchase something else that that's relevant to you.
I like the bit where you guys have actually considered and decided to give out free access for some material, of course, until the 31st of this year, December. And that's very thoughtful of the publishers who have actually extended this. And it shows, the goodwill, and also it shows, can I call it corporate social responsibility? Because
yes, that's corporate social responsibility. And we want to really appreciate the publishers who have supported us in this, because then once schools start using the materials, that's a relationship we're building. We are with them. We're working with the schools now, so that in future they know where to go to for all their e-learning needs.
And maybe before I let you go, something that I would like you also maybe to just share your honest opinion on, Joanne. The government is, of course, the person laying down the foundation and the infrastructure for all this to take place. On a scale of 1 to 10, the laying down of infrastructure, how has the government performed in terms of laying the infrastructure for you? 1. And 2, as you answer that, How is the implementation of e-learning in Kenya today, especially on the part of the government? I'm talking about mostly public schools.
Yeah. I think when the government thought about the digital literacy project, that was really a good project. And just by the fact that they thought about initiating it's a show of the government really wanting to improve the ICT in schools. Yes. So in as much as we are still struggling in the sense that some of the devices are in schools but have not been maximally used, yes. Yet money was spent on them. I would urge the government to include partners, to work with partners so that we together we are able to maximize the use of those devices by providing more content. And for all levels, we can provide, we can work together with the government to provide content. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give them as a 5.5, so that for the other 4.5, connectivity, in electricity, and also training teachers, so that teachers are comfortable and they're able to support the government realize the ICT project.
Not very long ago, I think it was last week.
And then
it was
yes.
It was last week that I had a guest in studio, still on the same platform, and he mentioned something about the government having purchased about 1 million tablets for children, which are not being used right now as we speak.
Yeah. So what happened is, sometimes when you are doing a project, you really have to put some thought into it in terms of sustainability.
Yes.
Like if you're starting a project, the people to whom you are rolling out this project to, are they ready? Because what happened is schools received tablets yes, but it was the tablets, some were not enough, because that's the feedback we've received from teachers.
Yes.
And a tablet is not like a computer lab where they can share. You can say they can share. So I mean, the government can do more around that to ensure that if schools are receiving these devices, then also just look at the number of students in those schools and ensure that teacher training is done. Because if teacher training is done, people fear technology sometimes. Yeah. You see, when the smartphones came, our parents were like, we still hold on to the 3310s that you have. But then technology pushes you to really catch up. So, I mean, let's also just train teachers and avail enough. So if we are availing the devices, avail enough devices, and also make sure there's relevant content in that. I know KICD has really tried in that front, and I believe there's more that needs to be done. And as partners, we are ready to work with the government, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of ICTA, to realize the success of that project.
Well, very well put. That's very thoughtful of you, Joanne. Maybe as we conclude, your final thoughts on this. I mean, how easy is e-learning in Kenya today, despite the challenges that are being faced? And is it something that, in your own opinion, you would say, when we talk about penetration, how far have you penetrated the Kenyan market?
Kenyans are very smart, and we adapt so fast. So I believe if the right information is availed to us, like we are having this session today, then adoption will also be easy. So I believe that we are on the right path, and we should support each other, and we know that this is doable. Education in technology in education is already here with us, and we just have to adapt as fast as it has come. And also we realize that there's so much which we could utilize, only that maybe not enough people have the information. So I would also urge the media to keep highlighting what is happening in the education and technology field, and so that more and more people are able to benefit from the offerings that are there. So my encouragement would be, especially for schools, stop complaining about the budgets. Really, like we are offering a digital library for free. Start with that, and then slowly adapt, and we will support you. So we are in this together. We are ready to really explore what more there is in education and technology.
Sure, and thank you very much, Joanne. We are talking there to Joanne Muse, who is the accounts manager, Snaplify Kenya. I'm grappling with the
yes, that's right.
Snaplify.
You got it.
Well, thank you, Joanne, and thank you for your efforts. I mean, it's a good thing, and one thing that you said at the end there that I believe that our viewers who are watching will be able to take away, especially if they're in the education sector. You mentioned something that schools should not be afraid of investing in this technology because they can also, take advantage of what is free for now. And once they start rolling that out, then parents also who now will have to, of course, cough the money to fund the project, will actually see the benefit of their children accessing information on that platform, don't you think?
That's right.
Well, that has been John Muse, the accounts manager at Snaplify Kenya. Thank you very much, John, for joining us. I would like to bring you on board once again another day on GBS Morning Extra. I hope that you make yourself available for this.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day, John.
Have a good day too, Timothy. Bye.
Well, thank you, viewer. That was John, and quite interestingly, I think listening and also seeing the kind of features that Snaplify have, and something she mentioned that is very important. I mean, the role of the media in trying to just create awareness on the available platforms where our children can learn at this time. We don't know when they'll be going back to school because of the COVID-19, but then we hope that even as we go back to school, such are platforms and features and solutions that we as a people should be able to actually embrace for the future. Joanne mentioned something there and say that we used to think that these are things that we will use in the future, but then here we are, find ourselves in a situation where now those who had already started are enjoying the benefit, but then those who were not interested, or those who feared that these are things of the future and they're so difficult and the budget is high, and so on and so forth, we are actually grappling to see to it that the children are able to access learning material. Well, viewer, I do hope that you'll take advantage of this information to hook yourself up with Snaplify or any other platform there, but then and I believe that by doing so, you will be able to solve many problems for your children there at home. Well, we have come to the end of our program this morning. Thank you very much for joining us on GBS Morning Extra. To keep the conversation going, you can use our hashtag, that's GBS Morning Extra. Our Twitter handle is @KenyaGBS. SMS line is 21144. My name is Timothy Omondi. Do have yourself a lovely day and see you again tomorrow, God willing. Bye-bye for now.